Ah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner and welcome to your latest Chelsea news. This particular news in regards to Christopher Nkunku, this was bound to happen. And look, this whole concept of A team, B team, it might be all fine and dandy when you're winning, but as soon as the season continues to get deeper, we're now almost 11 games into the Premier League season. So as the season gets deeper, soon, and if God forbid, if there is any negative results that seem to be upon us down the track, these sort of news in regards to a player wanting to leave Chelsea Football Club, this is going to materialize because the squad is so deep and because there is a distinct division between the players that start in the Premier League and the players that perform outside of the Premier League, all the other competition, there was going to be a problem. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not surprised by this news. And I fully believe as the season continues on, we're going to see other players probably potentially putting their hand up through their agents and would want to look to leave the football club if they're not made to feel as important. Now, this is not a negative thing. This is just a manifestation of how large the squad is, and I suppose the inadequate nature of the quality of the squad. There are certain players that I feel like are a bit of a misfit for Enzo Maresca, and Enzo Maresca instead need other type of players. Now, before we elaborate a lot more about that, let's have a quick look at the news and what this whole hoo-ha is all about. Christopher Nkunku could leave Chelsea next summer if his situation does not improve. Despite scoring 10 goals, he is still not regular starter. No move in January is planned, however. So January window, yes, we're probably safe in that particular moment. But the summer, if Nkunku's playing minutes don't improve, especially in the Premier League, and he continues to be, opted for the Conference League and other cup competition, where we're only going to be, eligible for the FA Cup now because we're out of the Carabao Cup. If his minutes in the Premier League don't improve, he's a type of a player where, he would probably look at it that he's entering his prime now. He's not here at Chelsea Football Club to get minutes in the Conference League and play against Noah FC. Mind you, he didn't play well, even though he scored a couple of goals. I believe he even got an assist for that Mudrik's goal, although that was all Mudrik really. His primary objective to be here at Chelsea, and so many journalists out there, even Fabrizio Romano, stating that he's the savior of Chelsea. He didn't come to Chelsea to play Conference League. The issue is, ladies and gentlemen, however, is right now he cannot dislodge Nicholas Jackson. It's as simple as that. Enzo Maresca has recently in the press conference once again stated in the preseason, he felt that Nkunku was one of the best players. However, he had to be pushed into the number 9 role. And Enzo Maresca has said he doesn't believe Nkunku is an out-and-out striker. We have all figured that out as well, that yes, he can do a job. Yes, he's a good finisher. But at the end of the day, it's not really his most prolific position. I think his most strongest suit is perhaps as a second striker, perhaps a player just behind the striker, maybe a number 10 second striker, whatever you might call it. That is probably where his strength lies. Now, Enzo Maresca has a conundrum here. He's playing Nkunku as a striker. He's not really playing Nkunku just behind a striker because there are other players in the likes of Cole Palmer. And lately, we're even using a fullback in those roles. Now, I'm pretty sure down the track, we're probably going to abolish that fullback, getting into those number 10 areas soon. Maybe Joao Felix is probably going to get a look in. If it's not Joao Felix, is Nkunku going to get a look in? Right now, it looks like Nkunku is sort of like the direct competition for Nicholas Jackson. So Enzo Maresca is in a conundrum. Nicholas Jackson is not going to get dislodged. Nicholas Jackson, Enzo Maresca likes a lot of different facets about his game, especially his off-the-ball work rate in terms of his pressing. He presses exactly the way Maresca wants him to press. He blocks off passing lanes, exactly what Maresca wants, so that we can stop the opposition from building up seamlessly. He links up well. He's a good passer as well. Do you know what I mean? Like Nicholas Jackson, he's no mug. His chemistry with Cole Palmer is improving by the season. Last season was great. This season, it seems like it's gone to a different level. And he's also got a good communication with Madueke as well. Madueke, Cole Palmer, and Nicholas Jackson, they've created a little bit of a bond together. And it seems like so far, early stages of the season, yeah, there have been some hiccups here and there. And some performance from Madueke not been good. But overall, you can say that Cole Palmer, Madueke, and Nicholas Jackson are main component of how Maresca wants to play. And it's been somewhat successful. It's been somewhat successful this season. We're fourth in the table. So Nkunku is finding it very difficult to enter the Premier League team, the team that plays in the Premier League, because Nicholas Jackson's opted. And he's finding it very difficult to play in those number 10 roles because Cole Palmer is opted. And the other number 10, essentially we play with two number 10s, is at times a fullback. And if it's not a fullback, then you've got João Felix as well. Kani Chukwuemeka, much lower down the table, but there's that option. So I get it. I fully understand why Nkunku wants to leave. I absolutely understand it. And do you know what? It might not actually be a bad thing if he leaves the football club in the next summer window, because I rather Enzo Maresca get rid of a player that is a misfit. And I know a lot of people will comment and say, I'd rather have Nkunku, this, that, the other. Look, if we get rid of Nkunku, and I like Nkunku a lot, but I think we need to understand from a squad perspective, understand from an Enzo Maresca perspective. No point in having a player that Enzo Maresca is not going to be utilizing to the fullest. So if we get rid of someone like Nkunku and then focus our energy on getting a striker, which is much needed, more cover, if God forbid something was to happen to Nicholas Jackson, an injury, we don't have a striker. And let's be honest, Mark Yu is not ready to lead the line in the Premier League. So a striker is needed, not just as a cover for Nicholas Jackson, but someone to compete with as well. Nicholas Jackson, at the moment, he looks around the squad and he's like, yeah, I got no competition. It's me. I'm always going to be making it in the Premier League. And complacency can hit in. So you don't want that. You want a striker. So if we get rid of Nkunku, or if he feels that he's not important for the football club anymore, I've got no issues or qualms about parting ways with this player and then potentially utilizing that money to get a striker. Now, having said that, if we get rid of this player and then we get a nonsense player to come in and take his position who doesn't really feel the void of a striker and is a downgrade to Nkunku, that's when we're all going to have a problem that, what the hell? You get rid of a player and you don't adequately replace. So that's what it comes down to. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. This news is not a shock to me. And this news, I always felt was inevitable, because when you look at the squad and how big it is and how there is a distinct difference between A and B, and how the B teams can't crack it into the A team group, this was always going to happen. And it also, on top of that, the fact that Enzo Maresca so far doesn't seem like he can utilize someone like Nkunku in the Premier League, it tells us everything. So many matches, 10 matches have been played, and it's not like Nkunku has played a huge role in predominant number of those matches. No. Yes, he's done a really good job when he came off the bench against Bournemouth, but that's probably the only significant factor that he's had so far in the Premier League. There's been nothing else. Doesn't generally get starts. And when he does come off the bench, it's very, very small minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in regards to Nkunku potentially leaving next summer. I'm not too fussed about it, because if we can replace him adequately and get a striker, which is far more important, I'm quite happy with that. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys. I'm thinking about doing the watch along back-to-back for Brighton versus Man City and then Liverpool versus Aston Villa. So do look out for that. And after that, we'll have the preview for the Arsenal game. So yeah, until next time, everyone, take care. See ya. Goodbye.